Yeah, there you go. Great to have fans. Anyhow, not the only thing that happens in this shop is to do with that car there. Most of it is. But there is the this thing here. I wonder how I make this go the other way here. Hang on a second. Yeah, so this thing here for, all that time I'm talking about getting the light all the time. Now, I don't know if I'll remember to use it, but for now, it's there. We'll see what happens. Oh, if everything was so quick and easy to fix. There, it just works fine now. The motor turns it, and then everything in here turns, and it blows snow, I hope. So I'll put it back together, and then await the next snowfall to see what happens. Yeah, now back to the task at hand here. I've got this, I've cleaned it up a bit. This is another part of the brace for the gas tank. So what I think I'll do, I don't think I need to remake that piece, but I'll put another piece of steel over the top of it here to, just reinforce it and make it a bit thicker. And that should work all right. I think we're fine after that. Yeah, there you go. I'll weld that on there and then see how it turns out. We'll have to squeeze it up here. But I made a little divot in here so it'll bend all right. Anyway, see if it bends, see if it goes. Here, I'll come up into some light here. Anyway, there's finished product. I put a piece of steel over the top of it and welded it on there and then drilled the holes out again. So that thing there is plenty strong now, and it has the exact same form that it had when it started. Now, on to other stuff. I'll let this dry. I just put a bit of paint on it to make it look good, so I'll let it dry right there. And this thing here now, this is all the wiring for the gas tank. It goes, which is, the wires are fine, but this casing around them is all frayed and bad. So I'm gonna, and brittle. So I'm gonna just take all that casing off of it, and I'll just wrap them up with some electric tape to make them a little bit protected. And they go up in here, whoops, they go up in there, and like that, there's a pressure fit there. I don't know if there's a better way to do that or not. I think that's a poor design. I'll have a look when I get the tank on there and see what it looks like. But something's not quite right about that. Yeah, so here's, just, it's very tedious taking this stuff off. Just use a pair of, the boys on the line crew, they used to call these things dags, end cutters, a little tiny pair of them, and they can split up into between the wires there without hurting anything else, and just work them like a pair of scissors. There, that's all back to, that's good soft rubber here, so it's nothing wrong with that stuff. And then I'll tape it up to about here and then pull it through the hole. And then I've got some of that wire protector stuff to put around it. Yeah, there it's got the wire protector stuff on it there. See how that works out later when I'm installing the gas tank. Maybe I'll cut a little bit of a thing in there so that it'll go through there easier, and then I'll have to seal it up so it doesn't get fumes into the car. Anyway, yeah, this might be all about fuel and brake lines this week. So I got the fuel line started in here. That's either intake or outlet, don't know, one of the two. But it's got here so far, and I made a little clamp there to hold it so it won't move around. And it's got to go up over the top of this and get tight to the ceiling there, which it'll do. Then I'll just keep on laying out this pipe here. Looks like I'll have to drop this out of the way to get the pipe underneath it, and then it goes, what was I pointing at? Get this out of the way to get the pipe underneath it, and then it'll go along here. It's a bit bigger fuel line than what was on it before, but that doesn't hurt. It's just more fuel line to pressure up, and it's good fuel line. Anyway, that would be the start of it today. But I also did this thing over here. Like I've got now my favorite show on the YouTube is Fitzy's Fabrication, which I talk about here often. And he's got this metal bender thing that he made. So I kind of copied that a little bit. It's kind of pretty rough, this one. But what it'll do is take a piece of metal and then you can make a nice little hook in it like that. Or if you have a piece this long here, just stick it in there, bend it right around like that as far as you want. And then it's got a little thing that you can make into a clamp or whatever. Take a longer piece, do that to it, then something like that, so you can make weird shapes if you want. So the weird shapes might work all right for making clamps to hold up the fuel lines. And then underneath here there's this one on the bottom, which will just barely fit through there, but then you can go and make bending metal that's not already bent once. I'll get a piece here that's not bent once. There you are, this piece here. So you can put that in and then make a nice bend in your metal if you want. And do lots of stuff with it, but we'll just see how it works. Yeah, so now, here's one of these jobs that on the outset looks pretty simple, but isn't so simple. So laying these new fuel lines in here and trying to get them lined up so that they don't run into anything and all that. And so you got to sort of bend them all, and then it's a single line all the way. And that metal tubing, not that easy to bend. Like I've got brake lines that I'm going to do the same thing with. I'm waiting for, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for the little fitting ends to show up in the mail here, but the brake lines are pretty easy to bend. This stuff here is very difficult to bend. And then once you get it bent, it's difficult to unbend. And then I'll have to get some sort of strapping system. I've just put that up there temporarily and then tie wrap on it. So I'll see what I can make out today. Ah, there we go. Finally got it to record. Anyhow, I made brackets for it all the way around. It's tight up against the top there. And another bracket here. Another bracket here. Now they don't go right next to each other, but I'm happy with the way it is right now. This bracket here, I might just put another screw in the middle, just tighten that down a bit, like I did with this one here. And then they go right up to, same thing as this one, I might tighten it down with another screw. And I joined them together with a rubber hose here. And that's high pressure rubber hose, so hopefully it'll all work out all right. I'm using the headlight here. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's me with the headlight on, but I don't think the headlight works any better than any other light. There we are. One set of fuel lines. Now, this is where they both end here. So now I gotta just build another little bracket up there, but I gotta cut them to the right length and figure out which one's the intake and which one's the return. I'll figure that out soon here. Yeah, here's another bit of genius. So I cut that other line here, about here. And then I was looking, and when I was grinding on the whole car, I ran a hole through the fuel line right there. So now I gotta put another, I guess I gotta put a piece of rubber from here to here. Anyway, oh well, that's another smart task there. Yeah, there you go. So I ran a extra long piece of rubber in here. Then I put an extra clamp on here just to, this is where the split is between the lines, and there's a little hole in the line right there where I hit it with a grinder one day. So, see how that works out. If it leaks, I'll have to do something about it, but hopefully that's a return line. I don't know which one's return. If it's return, there's no pressure, so anyway, we'll see. Yeah, there, so I looked around at a couple of my episodes from before, and it looks like this side here is the pressure side, so that's the way it is. And I'll just keep on working away at it here. I'll figure out the end up here for getting into the fuel pump and everything like that. I've got the bracket for the fuel pump fixed up. I had a wire here, this wire here. Oops, where am I? Can't see that, can you? This wire here is loose. Had to pull that out of the way to get all that put together. I'll just stick that back in its spot. Yeah, that's good. And then this thing here, can you see that? Yeah, up here. No, not that. Over here. Yeah, right in there. That thing, that's where the brake line comes to, so that's pending. Then the rubber brake line goes from here to here. Can't see that because my hand's in the way. To there. Up from there to there is rubber line. Then it's steel along the edge, steel along the differential, I'll call it. It's actually the trailing arm. And then it goes into a thing right up there. And it's rubber to the caliper, which is, oh, mysteriously missing, but I know where it is. Anyway, carry on. Yeah, so I'll have a go at removing the rear wheel bearings. Not quite sure what's going to happen next, but I've got the main nut off of that. It's got this thing for holding it, a locking mechanism. Now I've got the book out, and the book was talking about all sorts of special tools, but I think I've got enough tools here, so we'll read the book and see what it says. Yeah, so here's the instructions. You take off the axle up here, and then you take off the bolt, which I've got, the nut which I've got out of there already, and you put this tool on and bring that assembly off. It's a spline there, and you just pull that assembly off the spline. Then you knock out that wheel bearing with a rubber hammer. We'll just see what happens. I'll get that. I'll show you on the real thing here. So I've got that nut off of there. You can see that, it's not missing out of there. Now I've got a puller that I'll put on here. The way that their puller is designed, it goes into a couple of holes, but I've got a thing that'll hook on the outside of that and pull that out of there. Same idea. And you can see I don't know if you can see the spline in there, but there's a spline in there that sits on. Then it should pop out the other side, but we'll see. There we go, that apparatus is on there. Now I'll just put a wrench on the end of it here and start turning, and it should pull this out. We'll wait and see, I'll show you. It'll either work or it won't. Yeah, there we go, it is working, amazingly. It doesn't seem to be too tough to get it out of there. We'll just see what happens here. It's coming along. Getting close to the end of my wrench there, so I might have to figure out something. I'll put a nut or something in there at the end and pull it out a bit more. Anyhow, it's about 75% of the way there, and pretty sure I'll get it the rest of the way soon. Yeah, there, so I needed a little bit more pull. I ran out of thread on my, right up here, I ran out of thread. So I put it back in, took it out, and then I put you can't see it because my hand's in the way. I put a socket in there, upside down socket, just to rest against the axle part in there, so that it would be smaller than the spline, and this apparatus will fit down into it. We'll see if it solves it. There now. Now the instructions say, like I've got that out, and the bearings right in there somewhere. The instructions say to take your nut that comes off it, put it on backwards. Oops, I'll show you what I'm doing. So you put it on backwards till it's flush with that. Then hit it with a nylon hammer, but I don't have a nylon hammer, so I'll put a pit block of wood there and give it a couple of whacks, see what it does. Yeah, there you go. So the book says pound on that end of it with a nylon hammer. So I used a piece of wood and my mallet, and eventually it came loose. But boy, it took an awful lot of work to get that off there. Oh, we'll just see. I don't know if you ever saw that or not. There it is. So this bearing race here, I just put that down. This bearing race right here, it's not on the, I don't know if I have that one for a replacement. We'll just take a look and see what I have here. Might have to order some more parts. Now, I guess here's another thing that I got from John. This thing here is, oh, maybe 5 pounds of, oh, maybe 3 pounds of steel. And it has this stopper here, and a stopper here. Then you put this spider's web through. I don't know if you can see in here. Oh, I have to get, wait, I'll get my headlamp. Yeah, there you go. So that spider thing comes through here. There's 3 ends to it. And you kind of adjust it here by pushing this cone into it. Now you can turn the teeth around the other way so it'll grab things instead of going like that to them. But it seems to be working. And then you go and you just, you hold it out straight, of course, and just pound the shit out of it that way. And I'll just see if that lower bearing will come. I'll tell you, if it comes out, I'll show you at the end of it. Yeah, so where I left you off, I'll try that again. Where I left you off last time, I was trying to get the bearing out of here. Now, it's out, but I was using this puller thing here, trying, and that didn't budge it. But eventually the bearing all fell apart anyhow. So I built this contraption, and that's a 1-inch drive socket on the one side, and just a drill thing on the other side. And then I put a, where is it? I put a sleeve inside it. Doesn't take much strength when there's holding it from both sides. But I put this, where am I? So I put this sleeve inside there. Oh, that's upside down. That's how it went like that. And then that gave it enough room to be able to pull the thing out. Then I got it most of the way, and then got on the other side with a hammer and pounded it the rest of the way. But boy, oh boy, what a lot of work to get that out of there. And then, I don't know if I have the right bearing to go back into there. And I'm pretty sure the bearing I have is big enough to go on that. But this part here isn't the same. Unless that race comes off of there. Could be that race comes off of there. I'll have to just check into that. Looks like that's what happens. Okay, well that solves a bit of my problem. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, there's the answer. That race does come off there, then the new bearing I have will fit there just fine. So I was all worried about nothing. I've just used a cold chisel to get it split open a little bit there, and then I'll see if I can work it off there without damaging anything too badly. We'll just keep on working away at it. There, now I got the race pushed out far enough. Whoops. Sorry about that. I got the race pushed out far enough so now I can use the puller on it. And the puller's just sticks in there, and you can watch that thing move. It'll be off in no time now. then a matter of just cleaning up that surface there so the new bearing goes on nice and easy. Well, it's supposed to be a pretty damn tight fit, but we'll see how we make out here. Oh, special tool number umpteen here just fell off. I'll get it back on and finish it up. I'll show you when I'm done. Yeah, so there. It's off of there. Boy, oh boy, that was just about like work. Now getting it to go back in is going to be like work too, but we'll just see how we make out when we get to that point. A few things I want to do before then. One thing I want to do is, wonder what I was doing there. You're looking at me? That's me. And then one thing I want to do is take this rear plate off of here and fix it up. I was looking online and you can get one plate for the whole, like one plate. That's all you can find. The rest are unavailable. So I'll take them all off and see if I can fix them up a bit so that they're serviceable. There's a little bit of needs a little bit of work in there. Anyhow, I'll take a look at it and see what I can do. Yeah, so here's another old-time tool that works quite well. Now these Allen key things, that one was rusted in and it was twisting out the wrench when I tried to get it to turn out. But you take this thing here and you push it in hard and pound the back of it with a hammer, and that gives it like a turn. It's got an impact turn on it. It pushes it in and turns it at the same time, and there you go. The bolt will come out lots of times. This time, yes. Other times, no. But this time is okay. I win. Yeah, so here's this brake backing plate. It needs some more work in here and right around there. And so I traced out that shape. Where is it? Can you see that shape? Right around here. Then I sort of cut out a proposed piece there, and I'm just going to weld that on. That'll give it some rigidity, and then I'll start working on getting it right. Yeah, so there you go. There's a starting of the back plate. Got to look like that, and there's got to be a hole so it can go on the car. Over here, I'll show you. Yeah, I even got a light over there. So it goes on here. Then it's got to line up here and line up those holes there and fit over that sort of flange there. And it seems to be all right. Now I'll have to put a little bit of steel there and a little bit of steel right there. And that'll be the back part done. And then I'm not going to cut out the whole plate on the front part there, because mostly it's not bad. It's just a bit of surface rust on it. But I will cut out this area here that's bad. And otherwise it's not too bad, that one. Right in here, I'll cut that out and put a piece of metal in there. And then this back plate covers all the rest of the stuff that's rusted out. So that should work. Anyhow, I'll keep at it. Yeah, here it is Friday night again. Now I did manage to get the wheel bearing out of one side. That's what it looks like when you bash it out of there. But where is it? Way up there. Oh, wait a sec, I'll get it. Yeah, so here's what the new one looks like. Pretty nice wheel bearing. You can see a little split in the middle of it in the inside there. Now you have to be careful getting it back onto here, but it actually goes into where? Back here, right? Goes into there first, and I imagine I'll have to figure out a way to pull that in without breaking anything. I think I can do that. And then I've been working on the back plate for the brake on that side. because it was all very weak and couldn't find anything online. I can find one for the other side. So I've got it pretty near done here. It's all yucky welding for now. But I've got it so it's fairly strong. There's a couple of little spots here that and a little hole right there, but I'll fix that. And this part here, where it holds onto the wheel, was all gone. So I remade that. And now, I guess that's it for this week. We'll just keep on going on. It seems to be pretty slow progress these days. And I thought I'd never have it out of there, but it did eventually come out. Using just about every tool I have, plus a couple that I made. I made this thing here to slide in behind so I could push on it, but it helped a little bit. Everything helps. Anyway, that's all for this week. We'll make more progress next week. Now that you got one done, then you know how to get it done. And oh yeah, I forgot I was making up brake lines for it too. So I finally got the bits for making brake lines. There it is. One brake line. That's one for the back wheel there. Now these European cars have a special, where is it? How come you can't find that? There, focus it in maybe. They have a special thing called a bubble flange, and it's got a special kind of bolt here for the bubble flange. So I have a machine here that you can get from Canadian Tire, and it's on a loan. So this thing here does bubble flanges. And it looks like a normal flanging machine, but it's got a little bit of different head in there for making the bubble flanges. And it'll only make it in soft copper. It won't make them in, copper alloy tube, which is what that stuff is. It won't make it in steel because it'll crack the steel. Anyhow, the Canadian Tire, you have to pay for it, but then they... it's like a loan. They say when you bring it back, we'll give you back your money. So they don't charge you anything. They don't even rent it to you. Pretty good, pretty fair deal that is, I thought. Anyhow, here I am. Yeah, this thing here is stopped, so I can shut it all down. Turn off the gas. Then I'll come back and do some more tomorrow. Whoops. That's tough on it, isn't it? There's the inside of it. So it's a couple of more little holes to fill in, and I have to make a new hole on the left-hand side there. A new hole here for the spring thing that holds the emergency brake in. Anyhow, I'll do more work on it and I'll see if I can make it decent. All for now.